Okay.
All right, it is 5:31. I call it, or 5:30, I will call it meeting to our
There you go.
helper this evening. All right,
So his emails, he kept bringing up.
approval of
He kept bringing up.
April 14th meeting minutes. Oh, I'm sorry, approval of the agenda.
A second.
A Green. Bear with me, y'all. It's been a day. Minutes from April 14th. I know they were emailed out. I have them in front of me. These. Everybody, your motion. Kelsey, made a motion.
I'll say.
Andrea. Miranda. Simon. All right. Minutes are approved. Next item, Director.
Okay. Don and I went to the district meeting on April 22nd in Bladen County. It all went well. Our state executive director, Sam Hayes, and the deputy director of elections administration, Parker Holland, were in attendance with a few other members of the state office. They were able to hear our district discuss different aspects of the primary election, both good and bad, from all the counties. There were also demonstrations sharing elections administration ideas, from packing precinct supplies to sharing supply checklist documentation. We also mentioned some budget struggles and some individual county particulars concerning office technology and management. I emailed a reminder of the early voting plan due date to Bisco Town leadership on April 28th. Original notification of this date was sent on January 13th. As you know, this was on their regular meeting agenda last night, and I had placed it on our agenda for an update and discussion under old business. The request from the state auditor's office, I gave y'all all the documentation for that last meeting. It was completed and sent on Friday, April 23rd. It was due Monday, April 26th. So that was well within our timeline there. The process of cleaning the, hopefully I can phrase the old laptops, SOSA and OVA programs off of those has been completed, and I'm praying for an approved budget so we can get our new ones in here and get to work. Matt from the state was at that district meeting, and he said if I needed help getting that process done with the new laptops, he'd be glad to come help me. I've been working on GeoPoint reports. If anybody wants to know more about that, I'll be glad to show you copies of map and how mappings and how that works. It's a great undertaking that I haven't had the time to focus on as deeply as I needed to till last week. I spent about 5 days sitting there mapping. I got our total on the report from 791 listed as no geos to 25.
Oh.
So it just is, it's painstaking, and some other numbers have gone up for some different situations with voters that I have to go one by one, check their address, check the mapping of it, check the precinct lines, check the county lines, different things like that. And it's a daunting task, but it's one that's necessary and very needed. And some corrections are going to have to be made that I'm responsible for, that are a normal process in elections that takes place. So that's being taken care
Great
of.
deal of satisfaction that your number went down so.
Oh, I told Donna, because we get the report on Saturday. And all last week I told her, I said, I cannot wait to get this report and see what the number is. So I was thrilled with that. But this process for me at this point, I've made it a weekly task that I can tackle. And it's not like, because if you look at the map when I go to the geos, the non-geo pointed addresses are listed. This is only, 3 pages. It's like 2.5 as opposed to 35 pages of names or whatever. You can work a few a day, but by the next day, there'll be more. So it's kind of like you're digging a hole in the sand and it's just continuously filling up. So to be able to focus all last week, sitting there, getting these done and staying on top of them made that number drop. So it was, it's just one of those things that's been worked on. Also, due to the number of deceased voters that the state discovered through the SAVE database, Donna's currently going through our voter rolls using DHHS reports, which is what we normally use to remove deceased voters, and voter lists to find any deceased voters that have not been previously removed in this county. The state has stated that they are going to provide guidance on this process, but she's being proactive in researching our county in advance. And normally, if we find someone that has been deceased that's still on our voter rolls, they're already made inactive. Because if you do not vote in 2 federal general elections, you're automatically, what?
Yeah, go ahead.
You're automatically placed into an inactive status for that. But they're still there, but they're just placed in, they're not active anymore. Do you want to add to that?
I just need to explain that.
Okay, go ahead.
So if they haven't voted in 2 federal elections, they're actually removed. Okay. So what we found 22 so far. All of them are pre-2020. Okay.
Yeah.
And so what we found in looking at those 22 were listed as inactive, but the reason they were listed as inactive is because they were sent a confirmation card for whatever reason. And that confirmation card did not return. And so when a confirmation card does not return, that puts the voter in inactive status. When I'm looking and researching those, it looks like the confirmation card was sent because they didn't vote in that November of their second federal election. So a confirmation card was sent in December. For those confirmation cards that were returned, of course, they didn't get deactivated or removed or anything. They were continuing to go. But for those handful that were sent that card in December and the confirmation card was not returned, the system put them in inactive status. And of course, you can stay in inactive status from here till doomsday. The removal process happens when it's 2 federal elections and they've confirmed that through that confirmation system that the person did indeed died. So that was the only correction. It's not that the 2 federal makes them inactive, it's that it makes them removed. And the ones that are inactive were the ones that didn't have the confirmation card returned back for any reason.
Right. And the whole gist of that is the ones that we didn't physically go in and do that removal process. There is a removal process in play with our state system. And these 34,000 that the state has referenced, this could possibly be the case where, that we physically didn't do it.
Never got returned.
The
Right.
cards never got returned, so they were placed in inactive status and they've just been there forever, which
Right.
had the cards never been sent, or if your family would notify, if the cards had never been sent, those people were removed. And so they're not on the list. The other kind of factor that I think has increased this number that they're doing is the new criteria or filtration system that they're using. They've removed the sex filtration. And so if you have Gene Smith, and Gene could be a man or a woman, and Gene Smith died, my Gene Smith man died, Gene Smith woman shows up on the report as deceased but not removed, right? And so that Gene Smith goes out to everybody, and then we just have to look to make sure, is it that Gene Smith? They've taken away the filter of sex, so that boosted the number.
And it's easier to make a mistake, not to be able to confirm that this
That's-
indeed is the one that we need to remove.
But when the news reports it,
Yes.
34,000 dead people on the rolls, they make it sound like those dead people voted.
Right.
Yeah.
And that was another criteria we were checking. She's
Yeah.
continuing to check. I had to step away, but
Yeah, I asked her, I said, Kim, I've gotten through these. I said, could you please take this list? I know that they're listed as inactive. And they should be removed because they're deceased, but could you go through them for me to make sure that the last time they voted? And so every one of them that she was able to look for, because they had, maybe 15 or 20 at that
yeah,
point,
it wasn't many.
for her to look through. And every one of them last voted like 2000.
When they were alive.
2016. Yeah, it was when they were alive. No dead people voted. Nobody.
I mean, you know, it was just one of those checks and balances we need to check. And that whole process is very confusing. Is very confusing. So we are just rest assured we're trying to take care of that as best we can until the state does give us, they haven't provided us with a county list of voters that are listed on our rolls that are indeed deceased. We don't have that individual. So she is actually going back and pulling the report by month.
Y'all are ahead of the game.
We're trying to be.
Yeah.
We are trying to be.
Yeah.
We're trying to be.
Which is a good thing.
So, also, last, thing I put on there was I'm hoping to begin the, accessibility surveys on the voting sites soon. I was gonna start with the locations that are open and the locations I have keys for. And I was gonna pass this around for y'all to look at it. It's the, survey I'll take with me when I go to check all the width of the doors. I'll have to measure things, make sure there's a ramp and things like that. So I'm hoping to get that taken care of as soon as possible. Do y'all have any questions for us?
We were talking a few minutes ago about the laptops.
Mm-hmm.
Are we waiting on next year's budget or are we using the?
It's next year's budget, but I believe once it's passed, Janet, the director in IT, told me that she would be able to go ahead and order everything. That way, we can get them, whatever IT has to do to them to prepare them, and then I can get started with my part. Which I would have normally started programming them, I believe, the end of July, 1st of August. So hopefully we'll be in that timeline. But like I said, Matt told me, he said, look, I'll be glad to come down and help get those done, because that will be an undertaking if it's the timelines, because I have to program them for training, early voting, and I have to program them for election day training. And then I have to program them for early voting live and then election day live after that. So she knows, I call my lab Sears, because when all my laptops are open, it reminds me of being in a little girl and you go to Sears in the TV section. It was dark, but all the TVs were on. So I'll tell her I'm in Sears. So I stay in Sears for probably 2 months at a time. So, but I do have assistance for that.
Old business, early voting at Bisco Town Hall, and the decision, the commissioners, commissioners' decision update and discussion. I was stuck in Charlotte till 7:30 last night, so I was unable to make it. But
Two members.
let's hear what happened. Let's hear.
I was out of town.
Of the precinct meeting.
I couldn't go either.
Well, I'll put it this way. Kay stood up as tall as she could for elections.
Thank you, Miss Kay.
And Benji Dunn did as well. And George Collins. It was, a little testy, I'm gonna say. Just a little. I made the comment that voters get confused when you move things around, like what happened to Matt Gilliard from the fire department.
Oh, that was a mess.
Everything being at Highland, right? Highland?
Mhm.
Okay. And anyway, I was informed that our office needed to educate our voters.
Andrew, you do that.
Okay. And anybody have any suggestions on how I do that? Told him, I said, what more can you do? It's in the Montgomery Herald. It's papered all over the wall out here in front of the Board of Elections office. What else could you do? People see vote here and it's not even, sheriff's not even on the ballot. They still come in to vote for sheriff. And then they get all hurt and disappointed because they can't vote for him.
The main concern seemed to be the fact that they think they're being put upon because the whole east side votes in Bisco. And it's wear and tear on their building and their plumbing, and they don't know why it couldn't be, why we couldn't look into moving it to a different site every time.
Like
Like Dree told,
Yeah.
like Dree said, they're confused enough now.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
Still haven't been showing up.
and I've heard this too. Some of the smartest people that own businesses in this town, or even outside the city limits, that vote at early vote, they go to the Troy Library. Well, I think last year they didn't make early voting. They had to vote election day. Where did they go? To the library.
Exactly.
They vote up right up here at City Hall. So, I mean,
We've literally had people drive from the lake to the library
Yes.
to vote on election day because that's where they always voted early.
yeah.
So they get-
And then they had to drive all the way back up there to the point to vote.
So it doesn't matter your level of education. I mean, it doesn't matter.
It's just something they don't do that often. I mean, it's just, it's hard to
And it don't,
remember.
and I didn't think about this, but to only have early voting in Bisco once every 2 years.
Well, you will have it twice every 2 years. Because you will have a primary and then you will have a general
Yeah, but the
election.
primary is here. No, not on that. Okay,
Because Bisco is on the
right,
even year cycle.
Right.
So it's March and November cycle. They're not on that off cycle,
right,
even or
Like
odd
there.
year.
like this year.
Yeah.
26.
Well,
They're
they're
not-
on this year.
They're with, Bisco, Candor, and Mount Gilead are the odd number municipal,
Municipals,
but the
but
regular,
early voting wise,
right.
On
they are on,
municipals.
no,
Okay,
no.
on the regular, yeah.
On the regular even years, which is congressional and presidential
Right,
years,
We use them for early.
we use them. During municipal onlys, which is the odd years,
It's here.
then it is here because it's only those three little municipalities. And there's not enough to stick we do early voting right here
Yes.
in this office because it's not that accessible.
Well, wait a minute.
And we had like 50 people early vote last time at that, 13.
Didn't say, but it's every 2 years. It's not like it's every year.
It's 20, it's what, 28 days? Every 2 years? Add the 2 election days. 30 days.
And they wanted to bring up something. How long ago was that Bridget Bennett thing? They wanted to bring that back up.
Ron was still-
2020.
And we
Ron
handled
was
it.
still
I
here.
mean,
Yeah.
Well,
I wasn't on the board, but y'all, the board members handled that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Teddy and I went, and
That's all you can do. I mean, you can only
What I
handle
told
things
him, I
once they
said-
happen.
I mean,
she
When you don't know
will
if they're
not,
gonna happen.
she will not work in Bisco again.
And we
I mean,
talked,
I can
we
promise you
talked,
that.
if you have any complaint with any of our people, all you've got to do is pick up that phone, send a text. We'll take care of it.
Yeah, and that's what I had said at the last meeting, that
That wasn't
I
her
didn't,
job.
I wasn't made aware. I said, when you make me aware, we will take care of whatever the issue is. But if I don't know, I can't do anything about it.
so I want to touch on what you said about educate our voters.
Isn't that the word he used?
Yes.
Now,
But, okay,
Now, correct
as
me-
I said,
well, correct me if I'm wrong, but
You're wrong.
they are all elected officials, correct?
Yeah,
No.
no, not the town
Not the
manager.
town manager.
Well,
He's hired by the elected.
he doesn't matter to me,
no,
right?
because he didn't vote.
Because he doesn't have a vote. It's the town council commissioners and the mayor has a vote, correct?
Mayor doesn't vote.
So just the count.
Five.
Okay, so all of y'all, all of them are elected. They run for office. It is their job to educate the people who are voting for them. It's not the Board of Elections' job to educate voters.
Right.
Other than where they should vote and any rules on how they vote, which is eligibility, where they can vote, where they can put a sign. That is what the Board of Elections is for. And to ensure that the election is run properly, fairly, and every vote counts.
One of the guys said, well, Greensboro, they move theirs around all the time. And Davy said, well, we're not
Well,
Greensboro.
Greensboro does not move their early voting sites all over the place.
Definitely can't.
You can't do that in Greensboro, Guilford County. This doesn't happen,
No.
trust me. The big counties don't do that. They have set sites. That's where they go.
I would think they wouldn't,
But,
you know.
So what is the decision here?
Did they
do
vote? We did. They were wanting to put it off, but I said, we're here, let's
Okay.
vote. Good job.
So I will,
It was 3-2
I'll turn the
in
floor.
favor of keeping it.
Okay.
Praise the Lord.
So we're going to stay for now. I'm sure we'll
You'll
address,
hear about it.
but I will say, And
We're invited to your meeting tonight. We'll see who's here.
well,
So,
thank you for coming.
How many people work in that building?
let's see.
6.
Well, I know
And there's some other guys that come in and out.
Okay.
I know Grant Houston said, I could just tell you, I'm not for this, but I sure would hate to be one that worked in this building during early voting and being distracted.
Well, I've got them rerouted. I've got the voters rerouted now, and I think it worked
Yes.
much better this time. And I think that one of y'all said somebody made the comment that it
Town
was
manager.
better. He said it was better this time.
Oh,
And, that's all I can do.
I'm not sure where it's all coming from. Actually, asked some people that work there, where is this coming from? And then, it basically seems like the two that voted against it are the two that are against it, but I don't know why. I just don't understand the why. And,
Somehow they.
so I'm thinking someone had to have said something to them.
Yeah.
For them to be so adamant about it.
well, we appreciate all the help
Yes.
you put forth and we appreciate the town of Visco and all the voters there. It's really, if we need to go somewhere else, we'll find someplace. But in the end, they've been there for a long time. I think probably since not long after that building was put in.
Yes.
And
I
so,
think it would be harder on the people that are elected there than it would be on you.
Yep.
If it were to move, because of the fact that the voters would then be upset because they have to.
it's like if we ever tried to
Think
move
it hurt
from,
them in the long run more than it would hurt you.
if we tried to move from the library,
Oh, Lord.
the chaos that would,
Oh, yeah.
oh,
You have a little gray-haired lady beating on your door.
yeah, so, from me personally, I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Keep us abreast of any kind of thing, and if we can help do anything, make something better over there, we will do what we gotta do between staff and the board, we'll figure something out.
Yeah.
And I have no ill will towards Grant or any of the other ones. I was just a little taken back at his response to things.
And
It's not his job. Yeah,
Mhm.
he's changed a little bit, didn't he?
he's done a whole lot of change.
He
Well,
used to come sit in these meetings, let us,
I did make laminated signs and place them down the hall to request that the voters be mindful of there being an office and being respectful of people doing their work, because I knew his office was right there where they were waiting. And Donnie did a really good job this time of keeping things quiet, things like that. She said she even tried to be, friendlier to him and things like that. So anyway, we did our best to, I mean, I could put up no public restrooms in that area and then they could go on back out if I need to. But as it stands right now, they do not have immediate access to the restrooms. I mean, before they walked in straight, restrooms are right here. They turn left to go in there. Now they go down that hallway. Here's a barrier here. They turn left, go vote, come right back out that door and go out. And the bathrooms are all the way around here. So they don't have like a, yes, ma'am.
It's Grant, a full-time employee. Is he there every day?
No.
He's not on that. No. And he's really, he got a dog in.
Who?
Grant.
Oh, no.
Well, it sounds like we did the best for the voters.
Yes.
Yes.
That's what we want.
and that's what we're all about.
And Tammy
Whatever's
was
best
there
for them.
too. So hopefully it'll be in the paper.
Moving on, public comment period.
We don't have anybody
Anybody? Thank you.
unless they want.
guest coming?
I'm surprised. I'm not.
New business, alternate precinct official review. What we got?
So we've received some applications since our last board meeting, for people who are interested in being precinct officials. Those applications have been forwarded to, each of the party chairs. At the time that they were received in, we had, 2 Democrat applications received, 1 Republican application received, and 1 unaffiliated. Of course, the Democrats went to the Democrat chair, the Republican went to the Republican chair, and the unaffiliated went to both. I didn't get a reply back from the party chairs except for from the Republican Party chair, who said they would not nominate Melanie St. Germain as unaffiliated for any Republican position. But these are people who are interested in serving, and of course, our placements are in place. Those appointments were made back in August, but we could always use alternates.
Emergency, yeah.
Emergency alternates. So I just wanted those names to be put out there. If the party chairs are okay with these people, I would like the board to consider them.
That way we can call them when training.
Yes.
That's the training's not gonna start until what, September?
Mhm. And as I said, we're continuing to do this recruitment process, and so I'm hoping more and more applications are coming through, because we did have to use some of those alternates during the last primary. And, I expect November to be much busier than before. And, like I said, this time things came up and people couldn't work, and we needed those alternates in place. And so we can have that healthy list. And I certainly appreciate the party chairs for doing their roles and getting
Yeah.
those applications. And
You have 4 names.
we have 4 names. Keisha Parsons in specific, she actually came to the party that we had for our precinct officials as a guest to one of the other members, and she has been contacted. I think she was appointed as an alternate in the past. She has had where she's moved her mom, she's changed jobs. She's never been able to follow through with any obligations in terms of trainings or placements. But she's never been removed. Like, she's still listed as an alternate. It's someone that we.
She is an alternate.
Yes.
So my suggestion, because we don't have all that stuff in front of us right now, is for you to get these names all together. And then at our June meeting, you have who we've got, because I don't have it in front of me right now. Who's been appointed, who we filled in with an alternate because they couldn't work, due to, a sickness or whatever, but they've been approved. Let's get that finalized out, put it in front of us with any new names that we would need from the party that we could plug in here or there, wherever. And finalize with the folks that, like I said, that couldn't work because of a sickness or an the moving.
Surgery.
Surgery, whatever the case was, we had appointed them, they couldn't work, and we put an alternate in there. Let's get that all straightened out on paper so we can look at it and make the best decisions on this.
I certainly
Of
have
course,
those
having
copies. I can give
alternates
them
is
to you
great
tonight.
because we needed them this
Mhm.
last time, really hard,
Right.
but really need to kind of, I would say June, we need to have this wrapped up. And we don't need to talk about precinct officials again unless somebody's sick and we need to plug an alternate.
So if someone is interested, it's an application and they're interested in being an alternate, they still have to be brought back before the board to be appointed as an alternate.
Yes.
Right. And again, do you want me to stop recruiting? Because those applications may continue to come in, so this might be a topic at each board meeting, or just.
Not stop recruiting, but they just be in I think what he's saying, maybe being in a holding pattern. If
Right.
we have several openings and then we can look at them names.
Yeah, and that's what happened with these. These were actually applications that came in February. But the board had said,
We're done.
we're done with this right now. We're going to do the temporary placements for what we have. And we'll talk about after the election. So all of those were contacted back in February saying, okay, we're going to present this after the election to see if
Because,
you can. be listed.
we're getting close to halfway through
Yeah.
their appointment.
Yes.
And so we kind of need to wrap it up.
Mhm.
And a lot of these that are kind of out there that they're interested, maybe not this time, maybe, in 27, when we do reappointments, those
Sure,
names,
hang on.
we've got. And so anybody that's questioning or asking, hey, I'm interested, whatever, let them know, hey, we do 2-year appointments. The next round will be appointed in 27. we'll hold your names, we'll get with the party chairs, when we gearing up for that, and we'll go that route.
Yeah, that is the conversation I've had with them, that all the appointments have been finalized as of August the 19th of last year. And that the only thing that we have at this particular point will be alternates, that you may be called upon, for that.
And when we're looking at alternates, we want a decent list of alternates I would like to see. But when we're also, if we don't need alternates, if everybody shows up, we don't need alternates.
Right.
So we don't want to sink a lot of money into paying to train somebody that we're not going to need, right? But we got to look out for our budget. We're just like everybody else in government. We got to look out for your tax dollars.
Yeah, and it'll be tight on the next year.
Next year, I feel like we're going to be tightening the belt because of the purchases that we need to make for laptops, printers, things like that. Kind of like we did some years ago when we bought all new.
Yeah.
Will you be here in June?
June,
Because I have that you're gonna be out June 9th.
I will be gone June 9th.
So you will not be here.
14th. I might be able to Zoom, Teams in.
Okay,
It just depends because I will be traveling on the 9th.
okay.
Like I said, I will be in Orlando watching England and Costa Rica on the 10th. Got to get my pre-World Cup.
I think we have a volunteer to go with you.
Well, I know he does. So,
I got a quick question.
sir,
We're not got, it's ADA and forgive ignorance. Okay? But have you had like special training to do?
I have not. I went with Tabitha to inspect all 30 plus of their precincts in Stanley. We did
Okay.
it together
Okay,
and we had to measure. I had the clipboard. We,
it's like, some of this stuff I'm
I know.
reading, wait,
I know.
I'm not a carpenter or nothing, but I mean, it's all like, oh my
And
goodness.
I don't know when the last time was that was officially done
Yeah.
for the precincts here in Montgomery. I know there are forms in the drawer.
20 years
that are
ago, I
old.
helped Dana do it when she was a board member, but it was a one sheet, it went nothing like this, like all the board members, just like on voting day, split it up.
Mhm.
And that's what I
Yeah.
was gonna say till I read this form. I'm like, I don't know how to do this. So
Yeah.
Well, I can take it to her for you.
buildings are already ADA.
I'd gotten an email from Allison Blackman and they're wanting them, they say now, go ahead and get started on it.
Yeah, I
And,
got
so I
if
wanted,
it's a county-owned building or it's ADA compliant. It has to be.
But if it's a community center.
Community centers,
anyway,
they don't have to be, but the ones that we
you
use,
need them to be.
the ones we use, Little River, El Dorado, which is Edgewater, Cheeks Creek, Ophir, they are.
So do we need something in a file to show that these are county buildings and they are ADA compliant?
Well, you still gotta go do that.
I have to
Gotta
do this.
You still gotta do that,
Yeah.
but,
Yeah.
most of.
I'm
and I
supposed to
didn't
do
look
that
at
every 2 years. That's supposed to be
I
done
didn't
every
look
2
at that.
years.
full.
it's like measure space.
Yes.
That back in the day, it wasn't this detailed as this.
I didn't look over that.
Every
but
one of those things
Oh,
is a
it's
result
pretty.
of the law.
It's pretty.
I've done,
I can go and tell you, the community buildings ain't gonna pass this.
No.
really,
They ain't no way.
wow, they must have changed it.
Well, and what they did, in Stanley, I know we went to Millingport School to do that one, and what they did was they found discrepancies and requested the school to fix them. Like, something about painting the sidewalk where you step up, it needed to be painted and it had worn off. And when we went to go inspect that time, she said, oh, they took care of it. They did it. So, I mean, I can make requests, but I can't,
That's why they've been doing all this sidewalk work.
I know, yeah.
but I can't force them to make, if something's up with Ophir, I can just request. Now Stanley has their own ramps. They have their own election ramps that they provide for certain precincts that don't have that capability to have a ramp up into the door, and they place them there themselves.
But we just have a drive through, so I mean.
Yeah,
all-
curbside is there.
Curbside, so
Yeah, so that should cover
That
that.
covers that. I mean,
And if I have any questions, I'll be sure to reach out.
And I'm not saying it's above your capability. I was just like, Wow.
Yeah, when I went with her,
I looked at it.
I thought that one stack was for all of them, like
Yeah,
the ones, because
yeah.
we did like 5 a day.
Yeah,
And I said, okay, she said, no, that's one packet per, I said, Tabitha. So she would measure out and look, yep, this is good. And,
yeah,
you know, I was pretty taken aback myself.
I'm sure. Yeah,
But,
Like I said, every one of those is a result of
oh, sure.
something has happened.
Oh,
But I want ours to be on file,
sure, yeah, no.
that we've done what we need to
that.
do.
I mean, we need that. It's a lot more intensive than it was. Of course, I mean, that's been several years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, cause I remember back then, they would,
They split them up.
yeah, and they would just come through and, you got this? You got this?
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, they was
Miss
like, get a
Rosemary
measure,
would come
Nate, you
through.
riding with me today. I'm like, okay.
Miss Rosemary would come up there and see me.
Doorways,
and
measuring the
I'd
parking
help her do it
space.
real quick.
And then measure the parking space for handicap to make sure it's got a space beside of it. And then they would cone off the next space beside of it for a van. I'm like,
I actually do remember, I don't say which precinct, but the precinct had a dirt parking lot, or gravel parking lot, and they had spray painted a handicap
Oh, no.
out there in the parking lot. Somebody had, I don't know.
Who did it? Somebody did it.
Overkill.
They didn't have a sign.
Nope. All right.
I had to get a bank ones up there.
All right, sorry to go in the weeds there.
no, you're fine.
When is it, is late summer or early fall where you guys have gone and registered new voters, like at the school or the college?
I did that when I got here in September or October.
And is it a regular event and other people? Okay.
I can't remember why if they had I only went to MCC and I think they had a special day or something and I just set
It
up
was
in the cafeteria.
Constitution Day.
There you go.
Our precinct wants to help you when you.
We need to make plans to do that.
Typically, I do. September,
All right.
so Constitution Day.
Yes. September 17th.
There's, in the Constitution,
Around
State's
that
National Voter Registration.
National Voter.
I think so, something like that.
Yeah. We did it, years ago.
Years ago, they used to do it at East and West, and it was Rosemary and Dana,
Yeah.
always.
A few years ago, we did it at all the
I went
Yeah.
to,
school, all the high schools.
We might talk about that
I
in
went
July.
to precinct.
I went to
Contacted Dr.
I went
Perkins,
to-
who was there
It
to
always works.
Central.
secondary
Sarah was still
education
here. But she,
to get her permission to
Peabody.
do that.
Yeah.
But I
She went
thought
to
I'd run it by
Peabody.
you
I went
guys to see
to
if there's a day already set
Central.
up.
No, I haven't set that up. We're got a lot.
No,
going on,
as
so
soon
I
as
can
you-
know that. I mean, we can talk about that. We can save it for the July meeting.
Yep. Okay. Any other questions? Other concerns? Where's my little gavel? You come gavel for us again?
And get my glasses out of the way.
Big.
So I have 6:08. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion.
Three.
Second.
So moved. Gavel's out. Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you. I thought that, yeah, a lot. We
It's all right.